I want to just talk off the cuff because a lot of people wouldn't have had my experience, but a lot of people would have had my experience. And what I'm going to say it's not of a teaching quality. It's not to say that I know better than you. I just want to make that absolutely clear. All I'm trying to do is call upon my fellow humans to make sense of what's going on. So the process of this is I'm going to talk about myself, but only to the limit where I feel comfortable. As you know, I have got this camera pointed downwards. That's because I don't want to show my face. Okay? I value my privacy, and that phrase is often used by those either who wish to hide their identity or there's a genuine value to their privacy, which is the standard phrase that everyone can buy into. Now let's just take a left off this road because it's rather busy. So this is a live and I may well turn back. I may well turn back at the stage. Let me just have a little look. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn back unless there's a little rut run through there, which I might take. Sort of like a little rat run. Let's see how many brambles are there today. Actually, there's a few brambles. Let's go back on myself. If I wish you a good morning, it's all figurative. Let's have a look which tools I'm working with today. So today I'm working with the English language because that's my strongest language I can speak in. Currently I can speak. Currently I believe I'm of sound mind, but there might be people out there who think I'm not. And those people who don't think I'm of sound mind, I encourage them to speak up because they might be right. But where does it go from there? Because if you've got people like doctors or nurses watching, which is unusual, okay, what are they going to make of what I'm going to say? What are they going to make about who they think I am? And the story is that 700 people, also 700 Menschen, haben einfach mehr oder weniger meiner Meinung nach, die haben einfach nicht so viel gesprochen, nicht so viel ineinander. Zuletzt haben die einfach in der Höhle gegangen und dann von darin aus haben sie einfach nicht so gut miteinander gesprochen und es gab Klach und sowas und so weiter. Okay, there was someone behind me and I don't like that. As you know, I'm a very private person and yeah. So what is this all about? Right, there's a black cat over there. I'm going to quickly take a detour. Actually, that's a dead end. Don't want to go down there. So we're going to go back. So yeah, I am just trying to make sense of where I am at the moment. I see people. walking in the street. I see cats. I see female hominids. I saw a young hominid behind me there, and I didn't like it. Young hominids. I now see a bird. So a bird is, I'm informed that a bird, that was an Audi engine just starting up. I think it was about, I say it's a 1.8 petrol. Quite a thirsty engine. I'm not going to give number plates today, so you can't check whether stuff is, it was an A5. So I'll leave you to come up with whatever the stats are on that. So I'm carrying on my little walk. I'm seeing a very interesting thing in the front garden. It's very interesting. But again, I'm not really gonna make too much about that. I'm seeing a very interesting plant. It's a sickeningly prehistoric plant. Yeah, so we're gonna carry on. I see houses for sale, which is all very interesting. I think we've got a Harry Potter fan there. I see platform 9.5 there, which is all very interesting. I see another interesting thing in the front garden. A very, very interesting thing. Anyway, let's get back on topic if it is indeed possible. If there's anyone watching this, I'm in England, and apparently I'm English. And apparently it's England, that's it. Because I can't really say that it's England or not if I don't really know. I'm reliably informed that anything I say, it can be called into question. The language that I'm using, the vocal cords, that I'm using to speak. These necessarily, I think a lot of humans, they, again, this is YouTube videos. So I'm reliably informed that the vocal facilities of Homo sapiens came into being because we needed to stop smashing each other up, and we needed to communicate our feelings to people to stop the level of killing. Well, look, guess what? Killing is still ongoing. And how can you communicate killing, the need to kill, and misunderstanding if the person doesn't speak your language? That's a huge, huge thing. In Israel, Commander Netanyahu, don't know what his English is like. I assume it's very good. But what about his opposite number in Palestine? How is that? And then the wider picture, the power struggle in the area, the bigger picture. So who are the guys behind that? So is it US and Iran, etc.? Where's the mix? Why is that region important? Is it just because of religion? I'm talking about Israel, Palestine. The year is 2024. This year continues to move on, and it will approach its close. There will be a winter and a new year called 2025, January 2025. That will also close, going to 2026, so on. The years will flip, the centuries will, the decades will also flip. Like 2020s, 2030s, 2040s, 2050s, 2060s, 2070s, 2080s, 2090s, 2100s, 2110s, 2120s. These things will happen, they will flip. Then you get the centuries that flip. 2120s, 2220s, 2320s, 2420s, 2520s. So 2570s. Then you get the millennia that flip. 520s, 4520s, 5520s, 6520s, 7520s, 8520s, 9520s, 100 520s, 110 520s, 112 520s, 113 520s, 114 520s, 115 520s, 116 520s, 117 520s, and in all likelihood, unless there's been a nuclear war, if it's just up to humans, in the 115 520s, so the 15520, that decade, where humans, actually let me go back, fuck it, let me carry forward. I'm going to raise my voice above the traffic, okay? So in the 25 520s, the 25 520s, which is approximately 24,000 years from now, 23,000 years from now. So, as far back in time as before and agriculture had become widespread among Homo sapiens. And about 100,000 years, if you go back in time, after Homo sapiens had come out of Africa. That's how much in the future we are right now, or the age that I'm talking about. Humans will likely still exist. And I bet you from this standpoint, from this small microcosm that I'm speaking to you in the 2024s, in the 25 520s, in the 25 520s, if humans are alive, which I think they will be, because we're like that, we're survivors, unless I'm much mistaken. Every one of you out there has had a successful parent, either a sperm that met the egg or an egg that reached maturity and then was fertilized, either artificially or via the natural process. The fact of the matter is, and another separate argument is whether artificial insemination is in fact natural. because it may well be. But we just need to broaden our horizons a bit. But anyway, that's another topic I won't go into. The point of my saying that the 520s, so about 24,000 years from now, I think there will be humans. And again, what I'm saying, you can dispute that. I think there will be humans. And I think there will be Christians and Muslims and Buddhists. And I'll tell you why there will be. It's because we don't like to let go of a good idea, an idea that our parents believed in. An idea with tradition, with history. Why do we like antiques? You know, these bits of wood and metal that... Why do we like these bits of wood and metal that have history with them? Why do new companies, new startups say they're looking back and looking forward? Looking forward and looking back, same thing. Why do you give a nod to the past when you think about your own future? Why do you acknowledge people that have gone before you set out your place in the world? Let me just see if I'm actually recording here. Jesus. Yeah, I'll check these comments later, guys. Just keep them coming in. I've got a dog walker here, so we're just going to get back here. Just going to double check. Cool. Ja, und das werden ungefähr about 1600 Leute. Und 1600 Leute die sind einfach da nicht gegangen. Und die waren einfach nicht da. Verstehst du mich? Okay. So we're back here. There was just a dog walker there. And whilst I like a little bit of public performance, who wouldn't? I don't want the people in white coats to start coming right now. Now listen. 520s, 24,000 years from now, okay? I'm talking about 24,000 years from now, guys. Just 24,000. Just 24,000, guys. Let me just put this into picture. Right, 24,000 years from now. I'm not talking about the 10,000 years that you'd have to go back. And 10,000 years is a way, you know, in a human life. Yeah, 10,000 years ago there were other species of humans walking the planet apart from Homo sapiens. I'm reliably informed. So I'm talking about 24,000 years in the future. And who's talking about that right now? Who's talking about that? Not many people. I mention it on my channel. That's why my channel's small, guys. If I even talk about this shit, it's not gonna... Yeah, if you smoke a few joints, you might think it's funny. You might think it's worthwhile to chat about this sort of thing, yeah? So... But anyway, look. 24,000 years from now. And what I say, I'm reminding you, I'm not lecturing you. I'm not saying I know more than you. I'm asking you to judge with what you know about life right now, about what I'm saying. Maybe you want to commit me to a psychiatric ward, okay? That's in brackets. Maybe you want to switch out this channel. That's absolutely fine. Maybe you want to revisit this at a later date when you're not busy, when you're not got so much washing up to do, when you've not got so many grandchildren to look after, when you've not got that lawn to cut, or when you're not feeling the way that you do right now, when I'm messing with your head and you'd rather not have my tone of voice, which is slightly annoying, screeching through your speakers into your ears. I completely understand that. When you don't need to hear me anymore, yeah? That's absolutely fine. Then switch out of it, my friend. switch out. Okay? 27th of July. Okay. Where were we? 2500. The 2500 520s. The 2500 520s, which is approximately 23,000 years from now. I'm telling you guys that England may or may not exist, but what I'm telling you, that Christianity will very likely exist along with Islam and along with Buddhism, along with Hinduism, guys. These religions will likely exist in the descendants of Homo sapiens. Okay, let's go back. I talk about 23,000 years, I'm getting that wrong, 23,000 years in the future. If anyone starts up a conversation with you today, and this is all sidetrack, I will get back onto the main branch in a bit. If anyone talks to you today, okay, who they are, just think, how is what you're saying to me relevant in the context of the Earth's history in 23,000 years' time? How is that even relevant to me right now? Maybe you can... And then if you want to put another yardstick by whatever this person's saying to you, how is what you're telling me right now relevant to the human race? Or beneficial or whatever, you know, to the human race in 23,000 years time. Maybe you want to actually just work that out. You want to work that out. I'm just going to check that I'm actually recording, because I may not be recording. Yes, I am kind of recording. Okay, so we're going to carry on. We're going to plow on a bit. I get bitten by an insect there. Right. So basically, let's get back on the main branch. So, where were we? 20,000 years, 23,000 years in the future. You might think that's a long time. Well, word up. If you think 23,000 years is a long time, let's talk about houses. If it takes £23,000 to buy that, say, plot of land next to your house, 23,000 years. I'm going to turn back here because it's not so good down here. If it takes 23,000 years to buy that small plot of land, years to buy that small plot of land, right, next to your house. Can you imagine any buildings worth 56 million? 56 million pounds? No? You can't? Alright, let me try and just break it down a little bit further. Okay, let's do it this way. Can you imagine a house that's worth £6 million? 6 million. So we're talking about a big building, probably nearer central London. Okay, 6 million. Maybe it's a block of flats, actually. A huge, not that big, a fairly big block of flats. And there's you. Maybe you've had a windfall from your parents and you're considering buying this small plot of land worth £23,000 next to your house that you say you rent your house and you've had a huge windfall of £23,000. So that's £23,000 is the level that I'm talking to you, how far in the future we need to go. I'm talking about things that haven't happened yet, but I'm predicting, and prediction is, what I'm saying is it's my guess. I'm not saying it's definite, I'm saying it's what I think is likely. And again, I might be wrong, you might know better than me. Because I'm not an expert, I'm just a person with a YouTube channel that allows me to do lives. That's all I am for these purposes, right? I'm no one more than that. And, because I'm human, I'm nothing else, I'm just human. The thing will actually die in we got some looks here now. Right now, so here we go. So we now now we're gonna see if we're getting a look now. He's not looking anymore, is he? Yeah, we had a bloke looking at me, so I just put my hands down to my bollocks and I lifted him up 2 times. So, and I noticed when I looked up, he stopped looking at me now. So, make of that what you will, but I don't like men just staring at me. I just don't like it, man. And if I was jetzt ist ein Problem. Was wollen wir jetzt machen? Guck mal. Okay, ja, schon wieder. Ich werde auf Deutsch sprechen. Actually, let me just have a quick look at your comments. WYR, don't bother with that. Have to loudly announce every time you use the bathroom, detailing the process and duration. Will have to collect your used tissues in a clear jar on your desk for everyone to see. Okay. Every time. That's just funny. Detailing the process and duration. Okay. That's a good question. I know it's a bit of satire, a bit of sarcasm, a bit of anger there, but I'm just gonna deal with that right now. Okay, so loudly announce every time. So the loudness is referring to my tone of voice, and the tone of voice is loud because I'm going past traffic. Okay, that's for a fact. And every time you use the bathroom. Okay, so bathroom. What happens in the bathroom? Either you wash or you have a poo. Okay, so either you wash or have a poo. So clearly this person is referring to the poo bit, detailing the process and duration. So the process is something everyone knows, generally speaking, how to have a poo, unless you're very young. Okay, so that's a fact. And duration, some people have longer poos, some people have shorter poos. That's a fact. And all have to collect and display your tissues. Okay, your used tissues. So this will be referring to tissues covered in excrement. Okay, so excrement. So displaying excrement. So excrement, this is a figurative term used to talk about the shit, the words that I'm speaking. Okay, in a clear jar. Right, the clear jar is referring to YouTube. It's referring to YouTube. On your desk. So on my desk is referring to uh, my channel. This is my desk, and thanks for not saying it's his desk. He's actually giving credit there. He said it's my desk for everyone to see. So that's the process of the broadcasting of what I display, of what I say. Sorry, it's the process of what I say, and it's the process of what I say being transmitted to other people. So basically, this is a guy called, he's claimed to be called Joseph Palmquist. So Quist, I believe, is a Scandinavian name for branch. So it's palm branch. Possibly, he's probably highly educated. I'd say he's got a degree. I'd also say he's Christian, given his first name. And he might also assume that I am Jewish, but he may not. So it's his railing at the system, because he's effectively he's obviously got YouTube on his computer, his desktop, his laptop, his tablet, his mobile phone. He's going about his day. He sees my sign flash up on the internet, and he thinks, or on his phone, he clicks on it skeptically, and his fears are confirmed. This person is talking shit and displaying it. He doesn't have much time to digest it, this Joseph Palm branch, but he's got it there, and he's gonna say something, displaying both his intelligence, his sense of humour, and I'd say just a tad, not much, a slight condescension, especially if he knew who I was. He doesn't know who I am. So I'd say he's got a get out of jail free card there, that he can't really be classed as looking down on me, unless he really knew me. But maybe he heard enough. So Joseph, I know you'll never watch this, so come back to it. It's unlikely. So there you go, there's my analysis of what you said. D.A. Edix, oh hello. Yeah, oh hello to you too. Right, I'm just going to continue now, back on the main branch. 23,000 years in the future from right now. 23,000 years in the future, which I can probably safely say that anyone alive on this planet will be dead, will be fucking dead in 23 years' time, including myself. Of course, let's just skirt over the fact that a lot of people might hope and believe that they will retain some of their memories, and that they will be floating in either in the ether with these memories, as in outside the earth or whatever, or that some of these people will indeed be praising their particular God in heaven, so with other people, and hopefully those people won't be black if they're white racists, so that's a whole different question. If they're white Christian racists, hopefully there won't be any black people in heaven. That's what these white racists, Christian racists, are thinking. Hopefully I won't have to praise Jesus alongside this big, black, smelly, babbling pickaninny, or whatever the race, or conversely, if I'm worshipping Allah, I won't have to worship Allah amongst this actually there's not many white people that convert to Islam, is there? Which is very interesting. There's the odd few, usually partners of Muslims, the female partners of Muslims. So it's very interesting, actually, isn't it? It's like, anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. We're assuming then that 24,000 years from now, there will be, this is back on the main branch of my conversation, 24,000 years from now, there will be Christianity there will be Islam. There definitely will be these things. There will be Buddhism and Hinduism. And humans are very likely to be surviving 24,000 years from now. I'll give you some reasons why. Because humans can avert disaster. They're good at disaster management. They do pull together. Think of Russia pulling with the Allies in the Second World War. Think of that. Think of the hole in the ozone layer, where the global cooperation happened then. Cooperation happened there. And of course, there are other areas of cooperation, of course, which just escape me. But there are possibilities for governments to cooperate, and that will happen in times in the future where there's threats, either environmental threats, war threats. I believe that humans will survive, and therefore their customs and religions will survive, okay? And even more so, not only do we have the printing press since Gutenberg, which has sealed so many Bibles, like in time, frozen in time, so we actually see it's not an oral tradition like Christianity, like Buddhism was, say, and even no doubt Christianity was, and perhaps also to a certain extent, although I don't know, Islam was an oral tradition to a certain extent within the first few X amount of years. I probably not, because Prophet Muhammad went into a cave, didn't he, and started writing. But anyway, all that's by the by. We're assuming that because of the printing press and because of the internet, that things have now become very, very, extremely permanent. Your beliefs, even your slightest farts, like this fart of my speech, this excrement that I'm talking, will potentially be on the internet for a long time. Potentially. If my channel is not deleted, it's probably going to be up here for quite a while. It could be trawled by some AI bots extracting my let me just check this is recording, and let me get back onto my main branch so you get the thrust of where I'm coming from, because it's quite important, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say is 23,000. Let me try and cut to the trace a bit, because I know you've got busy lives, you've got things to do. JC, I don't have time right now to listen to your shit. Tell me why you're making this video. Tell me in 20 seconds. Just tell me now. Okay, what I'm trying to say is 23,000 years from now, the religions will still be ongoing. So any issues we have to deal with, we need to start dealing with them now. In these religions, let's start dealing with them. Actually, I don't know what the fuck Can you help me, guys? Just help me. Why am I making this video? Go back over it. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't even know why I'm making this. I don't know. Switch out. Can somebody tell me why I'm making this video? Because I'm not sure if I'm making sense to myself. Please listen back to it. I'm not asking you to subscribe or any of that shit. Just have a look over what I've said. And just try and look to see why I've made it. Can you figure out what I'm saying? Because I'm not sure if I can. That's it. Just go on with your days. Guys, I'm just going to try and ramble a little bit more, okay? Because... Oh, yeah. Let me go off on side branches, right? So just to get you to understand, 23,000 years from now. Is that a long time? Well, if you could buy a plot of land outside of your house for 23,000 quid, given the money, let's assume you buy it. Then someone gives you £6 million, and you think, actually, I love that block of flats near London. Say it's in White City. Yeah, I know, that's an ironic name given this channel. You buy that block of flats with, say, I don't know, say it's got 30 apartments in, okay? You buy the block of flats with this windfall, £30 million, and it sets you up for life, and, you know, you can retire and do whatever you want, pretty much, because it gives you a massive income every month. Because there are these incumbent tenants there, right? So let's look at those two figures. £24,000 you were given, first of all, maybe a windfall by relatives. Then say lottery money, say it was super lotteries, £24 million, okay? Or some other thing happened that you got £24 million, right? Let's look at those figures now in human history. So 24,000 years is the date that I'm talking about in the future, 24,000 years ago in the future. 6 million years, or £6 million for those block of flats, is what I'm talking in the past, when early ape-like creatures started to walk upright, roughly. And whether they're human or not, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that they're walking upright. So, probably more upright than chimps do now. Okay? 6 million years ago. And they possibly used stone tools. I'm just putting it out there. They may have even used stone tools. Okay? So you've got those two figures, 24,000 years in the future, 6 million years in the past. Now from 6 million years, or £6 million, I'm going to give you another date. 6 million goes to 56 million pounds. 56 million pounds. Okay, so from that, I can't compare it to buildings, but you can see the jump. 56 million. 56 million was when an asteroid hit the planet Earth and killed off a lot of the dinosaurs, apart from the flying dinosaurs. We, at that stage, were mammals, hadn't evolved into apes yet. We were scurrying around, in crevices. That's where we were. You know, it was a highly predator-rich environment. You know how fucked up these dinosaurs look. Go to London, go to the Natural History Museum, have a look at some of these skeletons. These animals were fucked up. And even the smaller dinosaurs, if they saw a rat scurrying, just watch Jurassic Park. The smaller dinosaurs would even eat those rat-like mammals that would later become us 56 million years ago. And we could go further back into the past, but I'm not going to, okay? Because that's where our hurdle ends, and that's where I'm asking you to turn your eyes to the future. Because in 24,000 years' time, my friends, the country where you're living in might not be called that country's name anymore. I'm just putting it out there, but I'm sure as fuck the religion that you believe in, if they're humans, in the future, there will be that religion there, my friends. So Christianity will exist 24,000 years from now, as will Islam, as will Hinduism, as will Buddhism. Those are three big religions, okay, and they will exist because of the printing press, Gutenberg's printing press, because of the internet. And I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I invite comments from all around. I'm done here, okay, for the moment. JC out.